Authorities are urging people in Mississippi to stay away from a certain highway as much as possible because several shootings have occurred in this area and they believe they're possibly gang-related and random. One man's death triggered law enforcement to really do this warning to people on this road, and this man definitely deserves justice, and so does his family. 41-year-old Dustin Patton of Harrison, Mississippi was shot in Coahoma County on Tuesday, July 19th. It was sometime between 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock p.m., 9 o'clock p.m. to 11 p.m. Shooting occurred near Friars Point, which is a really small town of about 900 people. This is reportedly a major county intersection north of Clarksville. Reportedly, Dustin was found shot in his truck near Friars Point Road and Highway 1. Then he was transported by helicopter in critical condition to a Memphis hospital. Now, this incident is really under intense investigation, and authorities are asking people and the public for help to try and find and identify and arrest a suspect in this. Reportedly, Dustin got a call on his cell phone that night at around 9 p.m. that an irrigation pivot pump had stopped working, so he went to check that out. I believe he was a farmer or did some type of agricultural work. About 2 hours after he had been gone, his wife tried to contact him. She realized it had been 2 hours and his phone had not really moved past a certain time or after a certain time. So she then contacted a friend who went to investigate, and it was said authorities were dispatched to the scene along with ambulances. Now, it was said authorities have been pretty quiet about this investigation, but sources have said that Dustin's vehicle was struck by gunfire at least 15 times. One of those rounds went through the back glass of the truck, then to the headrest, and then it struck Dustin. He was on life support for a little bit, but eventually he passed away due to the shooting, his injuries. Now, reportedly, he still had cash in his wallet, an unfired pistol, as well as a laptop computer in his vehicle. He also reportedly had several $1,000s worth of farm equipment and tools in the back of his truck. So robbery was definitely not the case, or it wasn't the motive. So it's not exactly known what happened, and that's why authorities are thinking it's possibly gang related. It was said that it looked like Dustin was ambushed near the intersection and rolled a little while down the road. He was reportedly about 2 miles from the pivot he went to fix. Dustin reportedly had a wife and 4 children, and people who knew him said that he was a great family man and friendly to all and a hard worker. Now, this is not the first shooting that has occurred in this area. A 10-year-old was shot and killed on Christmas Eve at Friars Point, which is where I was mentioning earlier. This was as a child rode in a borrowed car with a female family member. Reportedly, it is believed that a person believed a rival gang member was in that car. So there is definitely a lot of gang activity that goes on in that area. Now, on July 17th, which was 2 days before Dustin was killed, the local sheriff's department issued a shooter warning that night after shots were reportedly fired. And yet again, it was in that area of Highway 1 and Friars Point Road. It was said that several shootings have been reported in the area, especially between the hours of 8 p.m. and the early morning hours. It was said if you are in that area and you hear gunshots, you are asked to immediately leave and call 911. Anyone with more information about these crimes and Dustin's death, especially if you were in the area where he was shot or around that time he was shot, or if you know of any community gang members, you are asked to call the County Sheriff's Department at 662-624-2411. As of now, no arrests have been made in Dustin's death, but definitely justice needs to be served. His family and his friends need that closure for sure. Please share and repost this video, especially if you are in that area, to get the word out. And if you want more true crime, visit www.truecrimewithmegan.com.